This is Citizen Live at 1. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Hussein Mohammed. Now, two suspected robbers were shot dead this morning in Nairobi Central Business District after they were ambushed by police officers who had been alerted of their planned criminal activities around Jamia Mosque in Nairobi town. Tom Wanchala with the full details.
Thursday morning activities in the ever-busy Nairobi Central Business Center came to a standstill for about 2 hours. This follows a shootout between the police officers and an armed gang that was said to be on a mission to rob one of the shops around Jamia Mosque in Nairobi town. 2 members of the gang were shot and killed on the spot, while others managed to escape. A pistol and rounds of ammunition were recovered from one of the killed thugs who tried to shoot at the police officers. Speaking to the press, the OCPD of Central Police Station Paul Wanjama called on the public to be more vigilant and help police fight crime in Nairobi.
Of late tumekuwa na robberies mingi sana zinatokea area hii na tumekuwa tukisaka hii group. Tumekuwa ikifanya robberies karibu na Nation Center, Kimathi Street karibu na Kencom, na tunaamini ni group moja. So tulikuwa tunawasaka kila siku, lakini kwa bahati ya Mungu leo tukawapata.
And according to the eyewitnesses, the thugs who seemed harmless had gathered around the spot where 2 of them were killed.
Tukasikia shootout, kuangalia kulikuwa na cover ya police all over. Sasa ile polisi wameshoot juu, kulikuwa na wezi wamekaa hapa chini ya hii mti, ni kama kuna kitu walikuwa wametime, na polisi walikuwa na clue. And the police did a very good job because ni kama walikuwa wame-identify. When the police shoot in the air, hawezi wakajaribu kukimbia. Police had covered pande zote, pande ya kutoka kwa Equity na pande nyingine ya kuteremka Nation Center.
In the event of the shootout, one of the passers-by was injured and was taken to the hospital where he is in a stable condition. Police are still looking for the other 5 robbers who escaped. Tom Wanjala, Citizen Live at 1.
Parliament is expected to extend its sittings for about 2 weeks after President Uhuru Kenyatta wrote to the 2 houses of Parliament requesting that the December holiday break to be put on hold. Willis Raburu tells us why.
Parliament will have to vet and approve the newly nominated Cabinet Secretary for Interior, Joseph Incarcerated, and propose key amendments to the law as the government tightens the noose on several loopholes in the management of Homeland Security. The National Assembly in particular will be tasked with vetting, approving and forwarding to the President the appointment of Major General Joseph Incarcerated to the docket of Interior.
Thank the President, if what is happening is true,
Also in the cabinet in tray is the vetting of the potential replacement of David Kimayo as the Inspector General of Police. Another key facet of Parliament will be the amendment of key laws that will give the President power to hire and fire the Inspector General, as well as strip the National Police Service Commission some of its disciplinary powers and give them to the Inspector General. The report on the proposed changes are set for debate in Parliament tomorrow. Willis Raburu, Citizen at 1.
Property of unknown value was destroyed after several kiosks and restaurants were allegedly demolished by the Nairobi City Council along in Kilimani, Ring Road, Kilimani. The owners of the premises claim they were never served with vacate notice and they now want the government to compensate them for their losses. Safi Godana has the details.
Property worth thousands of shillings were destroyed this morning when a number of kiosks and informal restaurants along Kilimani Ring Road were demolished. The affected owners of the premises allege that those behind the sudden demolition were a team from the county government.
Kulikuwa na Nissan yenye ilikuwa na AP, kulikuwa na gari ingine yenye iko na number plate za City Council na hiyo Caterpillar.
Wakatuambia toeni vitu tunataka kubomoa. Nikawauliza kwa nini mnabomoa na sisi hatuko njiani? Ati wakasema these are illegal structures. Wamevuruta mabati na hizo Caterpillar wamezikunja kuja na hizo mabati tulikuwa tumeweka about 3 weeks ago. Wamezivunja vunja zote. Na vitu wamevunja, kuna vitu wamevunja kwa sababu wakati walikuwa wanavuruta ukuta, mawe ilikuwa inaanguka inavunjikia vitu.
They produced documents to prove they had been licensed to operate. This is what was left of their business premises.
Nilikuwa nimekomboa M-Pesa hapa, M-Pesa shop. Nilikuwa nimeweka vitu za duka na ya M-Pesa. Sasa nimekuja asubuhi, mimi nakuta Caterpillar inabomoa. Sikuwa nimeambiwa any notice. Sasa vitu zangu zote zimeharibikia huko ndani. Hatukuambiwa. and I paid the rent yesterday.
Tumeenda hasara kubwa sana because kama mimi I just repaired the place na sasa ni hasara kubwa sana.
The angry victims are now appealing to the Nairobi County government for intervention, saying now they have nowhere to go. It was just yesterday when they were running their normal business of looking for daily bread, but today this is a shocker that they woke up to.
Appeal to so kama unaweza compensate tu tafadhali watucompensate tu.
Safi Godana, Citizen Live at 1.
True Citizen TV journalists were among those feted last night for outstanding news reports produced in the last 1 year. The two took top honors for a story on child minors in Migori County.
During a colorful dinner and award ceremony, the Kenya Media Network on Population and Development recognized journalists who have in the last year produced outstanding reports on development issues. Citizen TV's Salim Bilu and Moses Mwakisha scooped the top award in the Gender and Development category. Bilu's winning story, titled Mining Miners, spotlighted the gold mines in Nyatike, Migori County, where children as young as 8 years old worked, risking their lives.
This the reality of gold refiners, retailers and consumers who in turn profit from unlawful child labor.
Other winners included Capital FM's Judy Kaberia, while KTN and K24 took home 1 prize each. NTV's Mercy Juma scooped the overall prize. The KEMEP Awards seek to recognize the commitment and vigor with which journalists highlight development issues. Wilkinson was Citizen Live at 1.
Congratulations, Salim Bilu and Moses Mwakisha. You couldn't help but notice Willis Raburu. He's big. He was there with Sally. So I don't know if I should congratulate Willis Raburu or he will tell us what he was doing there. But anyway, congratulations to the two, the other journalists who won. Congratulations. Moving on, a middle-aged man said to be HIV positive was arrested and arraigned before a Siaya court for allegedly defiling 2 minors aged 13 and 14 years. The accused is said to have forcefully taken the 2 girls into his house. Our reporter Tobias Pele has more details.
Appearing before acting Siaya resident magistrate Jared Zani, the accused Frederick Otieno Owino was charged that between the 16th to 28th November this year at Karapul sub-location in Siaya, he defiled the 2 girls aged 13 and 14 years old. The minors' parents had reported them missing for more than 1 week before police investigations finally traced them to Otieno's house.
Tulipofuatilia akapata ripoti kwamba huo msichana alikuwa amewekwa na bodaboda moja kutoka Kisumu ambaye alikuwa amekomboa nyumba hapa Siaya. Tulipofuatilia kwenda kwa hiyo nyumba, officers waliweza kupata wasichana wakiwa wawili kwa hiyo nyumba. Huyu kijana akashikwa.
The accused faced 2 different offenses of defiling the minors and other 2 alternative charges of committing indecent act. He however pleaded not guilty to both charges and was remanded pending hearing on 22nd of this month. And even as the 2 minors' dreams of getting justice remain high, Siaya OCPD Stephen Cheteka's plea to parents is to keep vigil on their children, especially in this festive season when schools are closed. The appearance of the accused in court came barely a day after the commemoration of World AIDS Day, an obvious implication that a lot still needs to be done, not only in the fight against HIV and AIDS, but also in the upgrade of our moral standards in the society. Tobias Bele for Citizen Live at 1.
World Media Services has been crowned the best media house in digital content excellence in this year's ICT Excellence Awards. World Media Services made a pool of 5 media houses which had been shortlisted for the award to emerge the best. The annual ICT Value Awards recognize excellence in the use of information technology. Cabinet Secretary Lance Charity Ngilu was also crowned as the ICT Leadership Award, while Mount Kenya University emerged as the overall winner for the use of ICT in advancing education.
CEO of the year, Mr. George Joroge.
Again, congratulations to the team. Now, Bomet Governor Isaac Ruto has called for urgent measures to save Mau water catchment area. Ruto said the government needs to find a humane way of dealing with squatters living in the forest. Safi Godan has more.
Mau water catchment has been a hotcake for some of the political leaders, and in many occasions it seemed to provide grounds for political showdown between some of those leaders. Speaking during the launch of Bomet Investment Strategic Plan in partnership with USAID, Bomet Governor Isaac Ruto admits that both county and the national government have failed in protecting this precious water catchment area.
We are all guilty of allowing encroachments of the Mau catchment area. That does not give us a license to go and clobber the people and brutalize the children and the mamas.
Ruto added that Bomet County government is ready to work with the national government to strategize on how best Mau can be guarded.
We will still consult with national government to see what plans they really have. But we must move in. We as a county want to protect the Mau catchment area.
Our work with Bomet to create this strategic investment plan underscores a broader commitment to support devolution and to work with counties to become centers of economic growth.
He says the strategic plan, which is a turning point in the history of economic growth of Bomet County, is in line with supporting devolution. Speaking at the same event, USAID Kenya Mission Director Karen Freeman said the USAID economic partnership with Bomet County government is to make devolution a success. She added that the strategic plan captures county government's objective for 2013 to 2018. Safi Godana, Citizen Live at 1.
The Prisons Department has decried the high number of minors being held in various prisons in the country with their mothers. The department has noted that the number of minors aged below 4 years is on the rise across all women prisons in the country. Here's Baruk Molimu.
Speaking at Naivasha Annex Prison when members of the judiciary donated shaving equipment and personal effects to the inmates, the officer in charge of the Naivasha Prison Command, Patrick Mwendwa, said it was unfair to continue holding the innocent minors for crimes committed by the mothers. In a bid to establish the flow of criminal procedures among partners and define the role of each of them in the management of offenders, the department in the correction system is calling on the judiciary to review cases of mothers with babies serving less than 2 years so that they can instead serve community service.
Hao watoto waondolewe katika environment ya gereza. Ingekuwa bora zaidi wawe kule nje. Kama hakuna sababu ya muhimu sana ya mama kuwa ndani ya gereza, tafadhali courts siwaweke kule wafanye kazi zingine.
Mwendwa challenged the judiciary to urgently review the cases so as to reduce the rising numbers in which mothers carry newborn babies in prisons, while analysis show that Naivasha Women Prison accommodates over 20 minors. Another officer in charge of the prison said it is prudent to urgently address the situation, noting that the incarceration of the minors was affecting their upbringing and foundation.
Kwa hivyo ningeomba Honorable Judge atusaidie na mashini pande ya wamama, kwa sababu tumekuwa tukitumia hizi za pande ya medium na zimekuwa chache sana.
In attendance was High Court Judge Stephen Githinji, who called on the department to raise the issue with the Court Users Committee, which will review jail terms for deserving mothers.
Naona hii kosi dogo dogo hapa kwa hii jela dogo itakuwa ya muhimu sana. Hata ninaona pengine siku moja tutafanikiwa kuwe na mafunzo ya kuendesha pikipiki na mafunzo ya kuendesha pia gari. Tujadiliane na polisi pale, mnafunzwa. Ukitoka hapa mna driving license ya pikipiki na ya gari. Ili ukienda pale ukipanga laini unapewa scoot, unapata shilingi yako 50 hapo.
On the shaving project, he said that the 1-month course would empower the inmates so that they could get job opportunities after leaving prison. Baruk Molimu, Citizen Live at 1.
Murang'a County Assembly has now called for the adoption of traditional cultural practices across the nation, saying that the adoption of some aspects of the Western culture is to blame for what the MCA termed as gross immorality. Martin Munene reports.
The Murang'a County Assembly adjourned normal sittings on Wednesday morning to discuss issues touching on morality in the society and denounced the recent acts of stripping women in public over what some have called provocative dressing. The assembly also discussed issues of homosexuality, bestiality, rape, murder and terrorism. Led by the county speaker Nduati Kariuki, the assembly observed that the nation has suffered shame by such actions, adding that they are culturally unacceptable.
After a long debate, we came up with the following resolutions. That public undressing of women under any pretext is an act of gross immorality and decadence. It is an act that in our community and that of most Kenyan communities will call for a curse of all those involved.
Kariuki further called on county assemblies to involve the older generation, religious leaders and legal experts in policy making to ensure they incorporate traditional cultural values. According to the speaker, much of the moral rot in society among the youth is the consequence of adopting ill Western values. He added that there is need to invest in the discipline of the youth, asking the Kikuyu Council of Elders and other traditional leadership groups to do more on the same.
Our country has expected, while acceptably investing a lot in our material well-being, is not investing adequately in positive motivation and discipline of the youth.
The Murang'a County Assembly is calling for cultural evolution, one that encompasses patriotism, moral adjustment, sanity and a sense of public responsibility. Martin Munene for Citizen Live at 1.
Hundreds of tea farmers from Kanyanyaini Tea Factory in Kangema constituency, Murang'a County still, have downed their tools protesting what they term draconian rules introduced by the factory. The angry farmers from Mutunguru Tea Buying Center say that the Kanyanyaini Tea Factory management is forcing them to sign a contract whose terms they are opposed to.
The tea farmers say that the piece of document was draconian and that it never represented the interests of the farmers and further weakened the rights and privileges that they enjoy. Speaking during the demonstration, the farmers said they were disappointed with the tea factory and accused its management of neo-colonialism.
Andikwa Kanyanyaini Tea Factory Company Limited, Ed, Green Leaf Supplier, which is I'm not a supplier. Mimi sio supplier, mimi ni mwenye hisa wa hii kiwanda cha Kanyanyaini. Kwa hivyo wamekosea na tumeenda huko tukatatua hii maneno na wamekataa kuko kwa county assembly.
The farmers claimed the factory management denied them access to fertilizer until they signed the agreement.
Iko na makosa nyingi sana, imeambiwa imeanza tarehe mwaka wa 2012 na sasa tulikuwa tusaini 2014. Sasa hapa iko na hidden agenda. Kwa hivyo tunataka wabadilishe hii makosa.
Sisi hatutafuna majani na tutatafuta watu tuwapelekee na tutatafuta wabroka. Tukishindwa na kufanya hivyo, hii majani hata tumechoka na mambo ya majani. Tutang'oa tupande kila kitu kile kitatuweza kutusaidia kama madisi, kama maharagwe na boga na vitu viko twaweza panda.
Efforts to talk to the factory management were futile as members of the press were barred from accessing the premises. Bonareri Samaha, Citizen Live at 1.
Stay with Live at 1, business and sports news coming up.